Shirt Show. All right, let's go.
Shirt Show! Talking shirt! Shirt Show! Talking shirt! Shirt Show! Talking shirt! Shirt Show! Shirt, man! All right! Episode 169 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Danny and Maggie from M&R in Illinois. Let's go!
Guys, we are here today in Chicago, Illinois. Actually, Schaumburg, right? No, I'm wrong. Roselle. I got it right.
Strikes, you're out.
I got it right the third time. Otherwise, I was out of here. But we are at M&R, and we got a couple people here that we need to introduce. And so, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm Danny Sweem. I'm the CEO here at M&R.
Okay. Who are you?
Your turn.
I'm Maggie Sabilo, and I'm the customer experience specialist here at M&R.
So we're here. We were invited up. Dylan and I were invited up, and also I think 3 or 4 other shops to talk about what they call the Day of Ideation, which I had to Google what that was, and it's pretty interesting. It's kind of like what it sounds like, I guess.
Is it a real thing? I thought you made it up.
We just made it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's made up.
Did you really just make it up?
No, actually, Mike Druid actually brought the idea to us. And so we said, that's a good name. Let's call it Ideation. So,
Yeah. I like it. So, but before we get started, we're going to shout out to some of our partners. The first,
We're going to let Maggie
have-
try them out.
we're going to let Maggie try this. So, Dylan, you want to push this?
I get to push it?
Or Danny, you want to push it?
Just
Absolutely.
You just
You
push
don't
that
do-
button right there.
Right there. That button?
Yep.
For rank.
That's right. It all starts with a screen. And whether it's new stretches or restretches, Frank and his team do it the best. To find out more, go to graphicscreenfashion.com, F.
rank.com.
Or
Greatfuckingscreens.com.
you wanted to do that part, didn't you?
A Frank.
Next, we have EasyWay, and cleaning screens is no fun, but EasyWay makes it way more fun. Their line of eco-friendly chemicals will make reclaiming screens a whole lot easier. Check them out at easyway.com. EasyWay.
The easiest way.
Next, we have Graphic Source.
Graphics Source. If you or your art department could use some love, then you need to go to 1-900-HOTStuff.com and get in touch with Nick or Lucas at Graphics Source and let them run your art department so you can focus on running your business.
I like it. We got to
Yeah,
use that
yeah,
every time now. And we also have Chromaline. Choosing the right emulsion for your shop is complicated, and that's why we love Chromaline. Go to chromaline.com to watch Kev's vids, or contact him on Instagram at the Emulsion Guru and get the answers you need.
If you're not using DTF or screen print transfers in your shop, then you are a moron. We have partnered with Howard Custom Transfers to get you the transfer you need fast. Check them out at howardct.com.
There it is.
We did it. Spike your phone over there. You want this, or can I take it?
Can you pass it? Thank you.
You're welcome. $5, please.
All right. So
Yeah, so
here we are in Chicago, Roselle, and we are in the M&R showroom, which is now redone, correct? Danny, what's different about the showroom now than it was, how long ago?
Well, it's been too long. Obviously, we did a full renovation. I think the thing that is most impressive when people walk in many cases, is just the mural on the back wall. We wanted to capture, this is a classic American company based in Chicago or Roselle. And we have a long history in this industry, well over 35 years in business. And so we start with, my favorite place in Chicago is the baseball stadiums. I'm a huge Cubs fan. And we have a mural of the old logo, the original logo that Rich Hoffman and those guys really started the business with back in the mid 80s. And it progresses all the way through the most recent logo, which is the American Classic M&R logo that we unveiled earlier this summer. So anyway, it's kind of cool there. Obviously, Chicago landscapes. And then the most important part is the equipment. We really want to demonstrate this is not only we're very progressive in the way we were looking at technology. The decorated T-shirt is always going to be a big thing. We believe in that wholeheartedly, creativity and art. How it's decorated, the type of equipment it's decorated on, the locations, the geography of where these things are printed at, that changes. But a beautiful print on a T-shirt is really always a main thing. So we're demonstrating the types of equipment that we build, take to market that really decorate these shirts in a very prominent way. COVID set us back a bit with regard to the timing and getting the showroom done, but we're happy to say that it's now a complete showroom and a training center as well. So hats off to all those people that made it happen.
And
We're
everything
proud of
here
it.
is functional.
It is all functional. We can run this equipment, demonstrate. Customers come in, spend time training and learning on it. And it is truly a showroom, but it also serves a bit as a laboratory as well for customers.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them on the G4 over here earlier doing test prints, and I mean, there's tests on every machine. Everything's getting R&D.
One of the things I thought was pretty cool that I didn't know was that you will train shops. So, not if you come out on site, then that's more like a service and you have to fly out there and everything. But if we wanted to send out a team here, or if we wanted to come ourselves, we could schedule a time. You can come and train us on all this equipment.
Yeah, that's a big part of, and maybe the primary purpose of the showroom, beyond just showcasing the equipment itself, is to train customers. And we're really not looking to create a transaction along those lines. It's teaching people. We believe in the craft so much so that we want to invest our time and energy to teach people best practices, how to utilize the equipment. It's a really good, ecosystem, if you will, for our industry.
There's no limit on time. You can come 1 day, you can come 5 days, but over a month you're getting kicked out.
Just live here.
There's a room in the back, Danny's office.
You start running production here. You're like, hey, we got a busy schedule.
You actually work here now.
That's pretty awesome. But anyway, the day of ideation,
Yeah.
we got together yesterday for a little while, and that was good. And I feel like it was funny. We did, what was it, SWAT?
SWAT.
Not SWAT like police,
We
you're
kicked the
thinking-
doors in,
Yeah.
threw tear gas at each other.
Yeah, so it's SWOT, which I also Googled.
Yep.
And it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so I've never done this for my business. Dylan, did you ever do that?
No.
Has anybody ever done that?
I've heard of it before. We've done it in other meetings with other companies and things that I've dealt with, but running through the whole thing over the last 2 days with you guys has been pretty interesting, and it's been pretty awesome because you guys, I think the biggest thing Danny said was that you wanted to hear us without reacting. So I think that
Which
was
is tough,
super. Yeah, that
actually.
was super important. Yeah. So I guess, Danny, do you want to say kind of why we got to this point, or like why we decided to do this?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the most important thing. I'm reminded of this from time to time, and I lose sight of it from time to time, and so it brings me back. The most important advice I can ever hear is from the customer, or that this company can. And when we start getting caught in a loop of thinking we know more than we should, or than we really do, we lose track. So this is about calibrating our focus back to what's most important, is taking care of our customers, your businesses. If you're successful, we are. We need to hear, how we're performing. We need to be graded on that. And then we go back and we turn these, the advice that we gather in these sort of sessions into action items. We're not perfect. We declare, and I say this on a regular basis, perfection is the enemy of great. Don't be perfect, be great. And this is our attempt to always refine and get better. So this is a process. We really appreciate you guys coming in and offering the advice. It is sometimes hard to hear from time to time in areas that your baby is ugly, but on occasion, the baby can be ugly, and we have to fix that as well. So it's really good advice, and really appreciate the time.
What was it that you said yesterday? I don't know if you said it before. It kind of seemed like your speech about a t-shirt is just a t-shirt. Can you run through that? Do you remember what you said?
Well, yeah, it's a regular thing that I remind myself and anyone who will listen, quite frankly. Your t-shirt, I came up in this industry. I remember the moment that I lifted the first screen in South Carolina after pulling a squeegee and just thinking it was magic, right? Seeing this image on this t-shirt. And I've been drawn to it ever since, and I love it quite a lot. But your t-shirt is your personal billboard. It represents who you are. It represents it's how you express, in many cases, your beliefs, the tribe you're in, your political views, your team, whatever. But it's the best way to express, hey, this is what I believe in. This is who I am. And that's not going to change. Now, the quality of how those shirts are decorated, that ebbs and flows. Fashion changes. all of those things. But nothing, there's nothing better, in my opinion, than speaking to customers or speaking to anybody who sees you, through a T-shirt. And I wear one to support the industry, but it's something I like to wear quite a lot. And it is my uniform. We want to have the most beautiful prints possible coming off of our equipment. That's our mission.
Maggie, you've been in M&R for a long time, and you were there during this. I think the toughest part was the weaknesses for you guys, probably. What was that like, hearing some of those things, like that constructive, I'll call it, criticism about your company?
Well, so I work in marketing, and I think it's very, we need that criticism. How are we supposed to grow and learn from our mistakes and how we can improve? And we grow, and then we want to have you guys, grow as a company, grow as a business. And it's like, help me help you, So it was, I cried a little bit. I'm kidding, but no, it was really, I like it. We need that feedback. We can't improve ourselves without you guys, and improve our relationships, improve our products and stuff without you guys. So, and thanks for coming.
Well, it was nice to hear the strengths. Like when you first honestly said, "Oh, let's do our strengths," I'm kind of like, "Oh, we're just gonna sit here and like talk about how good we are for a while." But there was a lot of things that I didn't realize, or things that that the company. I mean, obviously, M&R to us, we're fanboys. So to hear things that you guys are doing anyway, and all this other stuff was really good. And then we got into, after the strengths, we got in obviously to the weaknesses, but it was kind of like, we backed up every weakness with, we totally can do this though. Like we can totally change it. It's not something that you can't change or do or whatever. It's just like, oh yeah, now it's come to light. Let's talk about it. And then we would get into discussion about what we can do to make it better and everything else. So I think a lot of that was really cool, but it kept coming back to a thing of like, well, you guys have, in my opinion, the best equipment and the best, technology, and you're kind of always the innovator in the space. So I think it was really cool to hear all those things, but then put it together and be like, yeah, but we're still doing really awesome. It's just, how do we be even more so than that?
Yeah, the most important part of these sessions are generally not the strengths piece of it. It's almost the icebreaker. To get people talking and get the flow going more than anything. Is the way I look at it. The thing that is the most painful is going through the weaknesses and where you're not the best at. But that's why you do this, right?
Yep.
It's holding yourself accountable and making sure that, hey, these are the areas that we really need to work on. And then what I, in the management team really, tries to understand is, are we calibrated? Because we all are pretty self-critical. We have meetings all the time. How do we get better? Where are we missing the mark? We're very, very, we want to get better every day. And we're passionate about that. But if we're moving down a path that's not consistent with where the customers are really wanting us to move, then we're not calibrated appropriately. So hearing the weaknesses, we all have them, making sure that we're in alignment, that we get that, we understand that, we know that's probably an issue in many cases. We just haven't prioritized it appropriately. We got to act on this. That was really helpful here.
Yeah, that's really interesting part of it, I think, is that, like if we did this at our business, I think some of the weaknesses that people would point out, it would be on our radar.
Right.
We'd know it.
They're not like, oh my God.
Yeah,
really?
I think some of them we might be like, oh, had no idea.
Yeah.
But some of them it's on your radar, but you don't know how important it is until it's like confirmed, by someone else, by a customer. And I think that inspires you to make a change, maybe faster.
Yes.
But to just be open to do that in the first place is a
You mean to
huge
have
thing.
that criticism?
Yeah, to just be like, yeah, tell us this, or just even have this event or a whole thing where we can talk about it. You're not just being like, well, we don't have problems.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Change is scary, but it's also a good thing.
Yeah, it's very
go in
good.
a positive direction, and it is a scary thing, but
I think we should do a SWOT for just our personal lives.
yeah.
Like have
This
our
is a-
friends and family evaluate us.
This is
No,
a
is that
therapy
bad?
I don't
session
want to
now.
do that.
We're just going to air our grievances.
But other than that event,
Tell me how you feel
there's a
about
lot
that.
of really cool stuff here. Danny, what can we talk about? What can't we talk about? What's new with M&R right now? What's something we can get out there that we can do?
Sure. Yeah. Well, listen, we're always trying to advance technology, trying to, where's the next, whether it be a geographical location where the marketplace is moving around on a global basis. In many cases, the large institutional printers are very migratory. to, hey, it's going to stay home. It's going to be more, technology is going to replace and augment a lot of the labor that's out there. There's lots of labor shortages out there. Factories populating in very densely populated high rent districts, Manhattan or, New Jersey, Chicago, LA, in proximity of the consumer because of the just-in-time sort of nature of business and DTG or DTF. The technologies we're working on really are consistent with where that's going. DTF is a product we're launching, September 1. We're really proud of that. Our guys have been working hard on making sure we have a best-in-class product.
That's launched. What's today? Yeah.
Today is the 29th. Yep, it's coming out. It's a next week thing. You'll actually see it. It'll be on display at the ISS show in Fort Worth, I think, next week or week after next.
Just got to get it
2
painted.
weeks, yeah, something like that. Yeah, actually, we have a few blue ones in the back, so it's all good. So that's a technology. We did enter space with supplying, providing an ink technology for purposes of the digital squeegee program, which is one of the most powerful technologies in the industry that's maybe underutilized still today. My predecessor really came up with the idea, Rich, and it's really been a magnificent product. But we have not yet begun to touch the potential of the digital squeegee program. So we want to be best in class in 4 categories. Screen print, which we believe very strongly we have the best product in the industry.
There's like some of the craziest, awesomest equipment sitting right next to us.
Yeah.
G4 over there.
G4.
We got the Cobra TSE over there. Like, it's me and Andy are just walking around. I'm like, can we just take that one home, or I want to have that one.
Isn't that when you get out of your shop and you go to a factory where that equipment is, you get all excited about that equipment, don't you? You want to get that new shiny piece of equipment, install it.
Yeah.
So we're going to take some of it home with us on the plane. Yeah.
Get that overhead stuff, right?
Private jet.
That's right.
What's some of the new stuff with the G4?
Well, the G4, actually, it's a quieter device. It's faster. It is a flat indexing device. And it screams. It actually receives a digital squeegee quite well as well. We actually showcased this. Was it ITMA in Italy?
yeah.
I think was the first time we really unveiled it.
And it has the new micro adjusts.
Yep.
The new print heads, I guess,
It
basically.
does have the new print head.
You love QR codes. There's one right there.
Look at that
Learn all
QR
about
code.
it.
We follow your advice. It's very good advice.
Nice.
The ability to teach by scanning a QR code how to operate and run the device is also something that's very important to us, and also advice that we heard loud and clear at the most recent event. So yeah, it's a great device, as is the Cobra, which you were very helpful and helped guide us on some things we could do to improve our platform.
Oh, stop.
So it's very important. We shipped our 400th Cobra here recently, and it's not been in the market that long, and so debt of gratitude to your guidance on that. So Shirt Kong is awesome. Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
And this beautiful dual heat zone Sprint 3000 behind us. We got all the Copperhead stuff over here, which is all really rad now, all retrofitted and ready to go.
Yeah, for those that don't know, if you are in Chicago, you can arrange a tour. We have, who was it? So Josh from Australia was up.
Yeah.
And he was texting like, "Hey, is there a way I can see M&R?" I was like, "Duh, yeah, let's hook him up." And so, yeah, if you're in Chicago, come see this place.
If you're in Roselle.
Sorry, Roselle.
Roselle. Let
Well,
me
if
know.
you're in Chicago, you can Uber out or whatever you got to do.
We'll buy you lunch too.
Please do. We'd love
Other than that, we got a room over here with the Polaris in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of 3 Polarises we have in our facility that actually are functionally running on a regular basis. One is a showroom. We can do remote demonstrations via camera. People anywhere in the world, we can zoom in and demonstrate climate-controlled environment. We have another machine in a not-so-climate and controlled environment encased with what we call huts that keep the humidity levels and temperatures regulated on a typical shop room.
I haven't
floor.
seen those yet. Those are really cool. It's not a Coleman tent sitting over a digital squeegee anymore. It's a fully enclosed room. It looks fancy and high tech.
Yeah. It's more practical for a lot of shops that are trying to go from screen or add digital capabilities within their screen print environment. They don't really want to go to the extent of building a climate controlled environment for that. So we have that feature as well. And then we have an R&D machine that we really put out in the elements to push the limits to say, how far can we go before we break this thing, right? So it's not in the most protected environment, and we're testing things on a regular basis to make it a better device tomorrow.
And there's also something sitting over there that we'll tease. It's called, well, we'll just drop the hint, 2 words, image capture. Is that it? Can we say that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just say that. Leave it there.
Yeah.
So how did you get started in screen printing in the M&R world? Going to you, Maggie.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, so my dad, he's been at M&R for 33 years now. Like I said, when you were at the Accelerate event, M&R is his first baby. I'm his second baby because I'm 30, unfortunately. But yeah, so I need that Botox. I call it the director of first impressions, aka the receptionist, for 5 years, and then COVID was hitting, and Peter Walsh actually saved me, and he was like, I think you should go to marketing, just in case the receptionist job is gone or something. So he really told me, he pushed me, and so I got to marketing, and now I'm the customer experience
You were a
specialist.
natural.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who knew?
bubbly person. And now you get to go visit all these shops too,
Yeah.
and tour them around. And how's that been?
It is nice because being at the front desk, you see all these shops come in, and then you actually go visit them, and they're like, wow, it's like nice to see you come to us. And so it's been a lot. It's been fun, and I learn every day from it, and I'm still learning. I'm not as smart as you guys in this industry.
Danny's the
but-
face of M&R, but you're the face of M&R. Everyone saw you coming in through the door, and now they see you on the internet and everything else. So
She's truly the face of it.
No,
yeah.
it's all you.
No, absolutely not. That's a bad thing. So
No,
this
it's
face
fun
isn't.
though. I love it, and I'm grateful, and I'll always be Team Blue. So as long as you guys have me.
How'd you get started, Danny?
I started actually in retail. I had some sporting goods stores back in the Carolinas in the late 80s. The ages or dates me a little bit. Added screen print to that, and then that progressed to screen printing became really my passion.
Why
my
did you
thing.
guys add screen print?
We were sending out screen printing to the local screen printer in Rock Hill, South Carolina, a company called Print 2. I don't know if you guys are still around, but thank you. You taught me an awful lot. Started, hey, we could do this ourselves. We had a little space in the back. We wanted to utilize that, and we bought some equipment from Tim Foreman, who at the time was a young sales guy, who now works for us in the Southeast, and started printing softball uniforms, band booster club shirts, just like
So
many of
people
us.
who would come in locally to the store could get screen printing through you guys?
Absolutely, that and trophies and the likes, and then that really became the main thing. So did that for a number of years. Left and went to Rutland. Worked my way through a variety of different roles there. So bounced around to a large company in South Carolina called Silkworm. We did large institutional programs for Adidas and Echo Unlimited and the like. So I've seen retail, small mom and pop sort of print, ink world, and then into the category of larger printers. Went to work at NASDAR for a number of years. Worked my way into executive management there, and then was given the opportunity of a lifetime when Rich called and said, "Like you to consider, taking my spot." I'm gonna
What was that like?
Take it to the house. Yeah, I dropped the phone immediately, and I'm like, "You're kidding me." Actually, at the time, Rich and I were, I was at NASDAR, and we were in a little bit of a dispute over stuff that happens from time to time. And Rich is always really good, straightforward. If you know Rich, he doesn't BS anybody. He's coming at you. So I'm thinking, this is.
Well,
gonna
that's
be a
why I
tough
wondered what
call.
that phone call was like, because I know he's not like super like, oh yeah, you this and this. He's probably like,
No, he's not playing up to anybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like coming at you, and he said, "This is not. I'm not calling. The reason I'm calling is not for why you think. I'm not calling to have another argument.
Right.
I want to ask you something, and I want to share something with you of a personal nature." And he told me, and it was like, it's this feeling that I would imagine is like when you're called from AAA baseball up to the major leagues. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you very much, Mr. Hoffman. Hopefully we don't let you down. Our job is to make sure we perpetuate this company in a way that you'd be proud of. And we're very thankful for what you've done for me and certainly for this company and all the people that work here. Hats off, and that's a very sincere statement. So, but yeah, it's been a great ride and really enjoy it. It's the best job in the world. Yeah.
What's next for M&R? What's on the horizon?
Oh, it's more technology. It is, channels to market, supporting our dealer network. We think we have the best in class dealer network. These guys really, believe in a lot of the same ideals, belief system that we have, consultative sort of approach to going to the marketplace. But it's innovation. Technology is going to change. There's all sorts of advancements, anything from AI that's a buzzword, but it's certainly a real thing. We're into that. Visual recognition systems, digital means, but we'll never, ever abandon screen print. That is our core. That is our life. And we believe in that heavily. So you'll see advancements in all those categories. Speaking on that a little bit, we can edit this out if you don't want to talk about it or not, but can you give us the story behind the DCC stuff? Yeah, I'd be happy to. Yeah, so I'll do the best. I'll describe this the best way I possibly can. So in January 2020, Dave Blake and I are in China. This is before you've heard, or we had heard of a problem, a global pandemic that was about to occur called COVID. Fly back to the United States. I'm literally in Dallas Airport, and I'm learning about COVID at that moment. But on that swing into Asia, we also went to India. We have a long-standing relationship that's well over 20 some odd years between M&R and a company called DCC, stands for Duval Color and Chemical. We had certain markets in the world that are very price sensitive. There's no hiding that. That's just the fact. We were losing market share in certain areas because people said we don't need the features and benefits that an M&R press classically provides. Right. We need something that just prints. So we said, how do we provide a product that's going to be economically feasible in Bangladesh or certain markets of the world? How can we remain relevant there? And we needed to kind of simplify the product, but also maintain the integrity of the quality and the engineering. Right. COVID hits a few months later. We were shut down by the state of Illinois. Totally fine with that. We chose not to declare we are an essential business that we have to operate, which we probably could have done. I made the decision not to do that because I felt like this is a serious moment in life. You don't want to endanger the employees. Yeah, so we said no. We will adhere to the requirements of the state of Illinois, but therefore we cannot run an operation and build equipment. And we still had people needing equipment. So we made the decision, while the DCC or the M&R Global equipment was originally earmarked to be sold, for the most part, in price-sensitive markets throughout the world, with M&R's quality and support standing behind it, we made the decision that we need to bring that to the States because you can build it there, we can get it here, we can supply a customer in North America with a device that needs to print, as opposed to relinquish that opportunity to sell it. And that's why we made the choice to bring that equipment to the North American marketplace. Through the process, we also learned it's really good equipment. Yeah. It is not a Mickey Mouse sort of thing. It is not inexpensive, or it has a tremendous value. And so as a result of that, we have fans of the M&R Global product line that we sell throughout the Americas, Europe, Asia, and the likes. And we still have the M&R engineered product made in Roselle, which by fact is most everything we sell still is made in this building, right? Made in Roselle, Illinois. We don't intend to abandon that. It's just an additional, product line within our category. And it's some really cool stuff too. It's not like it's even like a cheaper version of what you have. It's like a whole new thing. Like I know what the Rival, just the footprint of it. It takes up less space. It has a good color count and each press, and even the tag. What is it, the Mini? Well, I've seen a ton of those out. Yeah. People love that thing. It's so smooth and fluid. So, and right next to us is a oval version. And I don't know. It's just cool. It's like a different whole different company in here, but it's a really cool thing.
One of the things that we talked about yesterday, a little bit today too, we spent a lot of time on it actually, was customer support and techs in the field. Crazy new technology like goggles and stuff you can wear and that you can help us fix stuff, which I'll have to see for myself, I guess. VR, type stuff. But what are you guys doing like right now as far as adding to your team and adding to that I guess department or that area?
Yeah, it's a great question. Something we're really obsessing over. We have a deep, plentiful number of technicians, but they come in different sort of areas of expertise. You have some that are really, really good at core screen print analog equipment. That's what we've been known for. Now we're, also operating in the digital field, and some of that technology or some of that skill is not always transferable from one tech to the next. So in essence, we're really doubling the size of the tech service group so we can service both categories effectively. You have some people that can do both digital and core screen print, but that's kind of a rare feature. So we've been heavily recruiting technicians that can really do both, and in many cases, a lot of the digital piece of it to increase our bandwidth. We had a goal this month, of the month of August, to hire no less than 10 new technicians. We'll put them through the paces in training for the next several months, and these people will really be able to stand alone, first of the year into this year. But right now they're going to act as more as apprentices, but the intention is to continually recruit and add to that team. It's one of the strengths of the company, but it could be stronger and better, and we've learned that in the last couple of days.
That apprenticeship, do they then just shadow somebody, so they'll go out on an install or something like that? And how does that work?
Yeah, they're fully employed, right? All the benefits, they get a nice wage and salary, but what we typically do, and Mike Scenario really does a nice job, and Bob Greenleaf, they mentor these people, bring them along. They'll put them in ride-alongs with other technicians or fly-alongs, and they'll go help with an installation from a Sportsman to a Cobra to a GT4 or Polaris, something, on the digital side of things, and soon to be DTF. So the strength of the company so much is in the engineering, but also in the tech support. And we're really, really doubling down on that tech support piece of our business.
Great.
Is there anything you guys want to add about the event or anything that M&R is doing or what?
I'm really just happy you guys came and answered my phone call. I love you guys to pieces, and I look up to you, and I know a lot of people look up to you, and it was really, really important for, I know, all of us to get your guys' feedback and all the other customers as well. And we really are grateful for you guys to really
And it was a good mix of
here,
people.
and,
It wasn't
yeah,
just me and Andy. I mean, there was a bunch of people like Tyler and
like everyone's feedback, and
everybody was there. And Charlie had a different take on things because he was more digital. So like hearing that side of the business and the complications with him or the pluses for him versus what we talk about is,
There was a diverse group. Like there were small shops, big shops, digital. Like Charlie, you said, he's mainly digital, I guess. Does run some autos too, but yeah, it was nice to hear a perspective from like different regions of the country, even. The whole thing.
Like we have our mindset as how our shop runs, how our printers are, but then you hear the complications with everybody being different or, different shops and different locations and everything. And it kind of makes sense that we need everybody's feedback, not just one or two people complaining.
Yeah, it was important. You have the small shops with one auto and then Polaris and, 3-4 autos in a shop. And we have to cater to everyone, not just one group of people. So
we talked about
really
that
valuable,
actually.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time on that one too.
Yeah.
So before we go, we have some overrated, underrated. Unless you have anything else to add.
No.
You gave me kind of a look. You got some more?
No.
So I have 9 things on here, and you let me know if you think they're overrated or underrated, or maybe even properly rated. All right.
Go.
Number 1, we are going to kick it off with queso dip.
What kind of cheese?
Like last night.
Yeah, last night's.
I think queso dip is underrated.
Underrated?
Yeah, I love cheese.
You just want to pour it on everything?
Yeah, I just want cheese.
Danny?
Overrated. I'm not a big cheese guy.
Overrated. So you skipped the dip.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have very controversial one. I saved it for number 2 so we didn't get in a fight right away. Laser exposure.
Laser exposure is properly rated, I think.
Okay.
Took the safe route.
Totally. Yeah. I got friends in that space. I can't.
I'm going to take the safe route.
Okay. Dylan?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
Okay. Well, that's well, what's your perspective now, not knowing yet? So would you say it was over, under, or proper?
Current perspective is that it's one of those spaces where it's a technology thing again, and you want to get the next coolest best thing because you've seen all the other ones and you're a nerd and you want to know what the newest best toy is capable of. So that's where I'm at.
Exposure is very important. There's lots of options. I think that we talked about that even too, as far as different options here from M&R. So yeah, laser exposure. I'm going with overrated.
Just because you want to fight me on it.
Number 3, we have talk to text.
Go ahead.
I don't really use it because I forget it's there, but I think it's, if you're using it all the time, it's a good thing to have. Like you.
So like for older guys, you know.
Well, Danny, you're a busy guy. Do you do talk to text?
I do a little bit, and I've had the inverted, unintentional talk to text where you're saying a run-on sort of conversation.
Where you accidentally hit the button and then it listens to your whole conversation.
Yeah. Or Peter Walsh will get up in the middle of the night and send me like a 6-page email because he's talking to text type of thing. So it's those type of things. So
I like it in the car. I think it's properly rated.
Yeah, Missouri's about to go hands-free, so it'll be interesting.
My problem is that apparently I slur my words, so I have to go back and correct half of it anyway. So I just try to type it out.
So user error.
Yeah, it doesn't take. It just says duck all the time for some reason.
I use it a lot. I like, for me, I don't have to get my readers to see my key, my screen. I can just talk it out, and it usually gets it
but
right.
It's best when we're like randomly somewhere, and all of a sudden you're like, "I said it was okay," and then it's like, "What the hell are you talking to?"
Sometimes I just go with it. Whatever it happens to say, even if it's wrong and maybe sometimes weird, I send it just to see the reaction. Okay, number 4. Fiber. You're looking at me like, what the hell do you mean by this? In your diet, so fiber.
Underrated or overrated? Fiber?
Yeah.
I think you need it. Definitely.
So it would be...
I think it's properly rated.
Okay.
Proper.
I don't take a supplement. So.
Do you need one?
Huh?
Do you need a supplement?
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay, good.
However, he did describe that he eats cereal in the middle of the night while he's doing floor plans for.
I love how you
milk.
grab that part. You're like, Dylan said he was in his underwear eating cereal. I'm gonna keep that.
Are you lactose?
No.
Danny, what's your answer? You have one?
It's a good thing.
I think if you're drinking 14 Diet Cokes, you probably need a little fiber
I
mixed
need a
in
lot
there.
more fiber in my diet.
Help digest all that. Yeah,
That's 100%. Right.
Okay, so from thank me later. A little bit more fiber.
Got it.
What about you?
For me, super massively underrated.
Well, for the people, I mean, the people probably know at this point, but you're the one who makes it overrated or underrated, and they're almost always about your dietary habits.
Next is dairy. Cheese.
Well, there's something really cool. If you're watching your carb intake, because carb turns to sugar, and I'm trying to be low sugar for inflammation. Yeah. And something pretty cool is that called net carbs. And so you get to subtract the fiber from your carbs. And so if you have something that's, let's say, 10 carbs and it has 5 fiber, then you're only consuming 5 carbs. It's really, really good. And so fiber along with carbs is a great thing.
So are you taking extra fiber?
No.
Sounds like
not like as a supplement, but I'm just eating things and like
with
grains.
More fiber.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Weight Watchers commercial.
Brand,
Let's talk about this for the next hour. Let's go.
Next, we have something that is interesting to me. Number 6 is DoorDash.
Super underrated.
It's expensive, their delivery fees.
But it's amazing when you're
Super
in a hotel.
overrated. Super freaking overrated.
Get up and go to your Walgreens.
Yeah. Go.
Get a bag of chips and
Walgreens?
call it a day.
He's like looking at her in disbelief.
She's telling me about it being expensive, but we've been in hotels before where you go to the hotel lobby and say one of each of the snacks, and it's like $900 in snacks.
You can go there.
So why do you think DoorDash is underrated? Yeah.
Let's say properly rated. I think it's
went
it's
from super
expensive, but
underrated to
it's a splurge. You're in a hotel or whatever, and you're watching Shark Tank, and you're laying there, and you're like, you know what, Domino's would be amazing right now.
What about if you're home? Is there
and
a
you
difference?
order, and they knock on your door, the hotel room door, and
The
leave
wrong
it at the
door. A lot of
At
times.
the wrong door. Yeah.
Okay, Danny, you have an opinion on that?
I have no opinion about it. I never use it. So
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't, and I won't.
Okay.
All right. Next, Ooh, yeah. All right, here we go. Restroom touchless sinks.
I hate them.
Oh.
You
They
hate
don't-
touchless sinks?
They never recognize.
they
You have to
never-
sit there and do this for a half an hour before the water comes out. Just fucking turn the knob.
You've seen guys in restrooms do, yeah, you don't, like, you want to be able
I
to.
want to be able to turn the knob and then go afterwards.
Delicious.
That does it. It's underrated. We do
It's-
more of
there
those
we go,
things,
there we
not
go.
less of those things. You just freak me out.
You have an opinion on these?
I don't like them because they really don't work half the time. And girls can be as messy as guys are. Let me tell
I
you.
agree with
Sorry,
that. I used to
Kyle.
work at a restaurant where I had to clean the bathrooms. And
Yeah.
the girls' room was way worse than the guys' room.
Sorry, girls.
Haven't seen, I've heard men destroy the stall next to me and then just walk straight out
Yeah.
and grab the handle and everything. So, I mean, that's another thing. Yeah, handles on the doors as you leave.
Just kick it open.
Get the,
Yeah, you
SWAT
gotta use your
team.
foot.
you kick, yeah? Use the foot. All right.
Freaking me out.
Next, we have SWOT analysis.
Underrated.
Oh, SWAT. S-O-T.
Not the
WOT
team.
That's
What we
analysis.
did yesterday.
We just did the last 2 days.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't think people or companies utilize it. You know?
I think
So
it's a really
under-
good thing.
I think it's under, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Underrated. This one is a little profound, I think. To end it, we have ketchup on a hot dog.
All the way. Sorry. Ketchup only. And I'm from Chicago.
Get out of here.
It's the best thing in the world. Extra ketchup.
That was my lunch today.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Had a hot dog with ketchup on it. That's it. I don't like a lot more than
We
that.
got-
So.
What are the
You
chances?
disgusting. You do both disgust me.
You do.
I do
I'll
ketchup
lick
sometimes
I'll lick
too.
the handles of the faucet in the bathroom. Put ketchup on a hot dog. It's
Hang on, I gotta
fucking
move
another
over
thing.
here. No.
Get out of here. I'm building my immunities.
Well, guys, thanks so much for inviting us. I have a lot of respect for you both and for the company. And it's interesting hearing the perspective. I mean, it opened my eyes to a lot of things, how hard it is at this scale to provide support for all of the equipment that you have out there for the past, how many years? 30. It's a lot of support. And so huge respect. And thanks again.
Definitely say to anybody who is a screen printer, regardless of what you're using, make the trip out. If you're in this area, come see the factory. It will change your mind on a lot of things. It's very impressive. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
House is your house.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
High five.
Hell yeah, brother.
My bad. You have to lead in.